Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box here on Jared Takes the L, and I have yet another great episode for you guys here today. A little bit of an interesting one, actually. It's not really something that we do often here on the channel. Of course, I am referring to anything DC Comics related. I tried to find as much as I can for it, but it just seems like it's not as common as Marvel for some reason here on Jared Opens a Box. It doesn't seem like Funko puts out as much for DC. I mean, the DC Pops don't even have their own, line. They're just part of the Pop Heroes line, which is shared with some other series. So, and they're still in like the 500s. Marvel's in the thousands now. So that should go to show it right there. So I try to take advantage of whenever we get new DC waves. And this one's really, really cool because these are all pops from the Batman comics, I guess. I mentioned last week I didn't know if these specific pops were from a comic strip in particular. They are. I did my research. They are from a series called Batman Joker Warzone. Fairly recent comic book series that came out just a few years ago, I believe. And it kind of had Batman take, he was kind of out of the picture a little bit, so you had the Joker on one side, the other side were other members of the Bat family that really didn't get the attention. They don't really get much attention, but this time they were kind of in the center. So that's really cool because now we have pops of some of these characters, a couple of which I didn't even know about. So that's the cool thing about Jared Opens a Box sometimes, is that we get to learn about certain characters that I may have no prior knowledge of. So that we will get to see a few of those today. We're actually going to kick off with one right now. This one is Batwing. So didn't know this one existed. I always thought the Batwing was the, flying thing. It's like I don't know what exactly it is, but it's that thing Batman flies around. But no, there's actually a superhero with that name as well. And this one, I did my research on this, so you'll be proud of me. This one there's actually two different Batwings. This one, I believe, is the son of Lucius Fox, who is one of Batman's friends, Bruce Wayne's friends, which goes to show, truthfully, that if you have any relationship whatsoever to Bruce Wayne or Batman, you will end up as part of the Bat family at some point. That's just how it seems to be, and thus is the case for Batwing. So he's Pop Heroes number 500. The box, really, really cool, kind of just like the basic Batman box. And oh, there's everybody else on the back that we'll be taking a look at as well. So let's go ahead and crack this one open. Let's see how Batwing looks. All right, and this one is really, really cool looking. So here is Batwing. This one is sick. He's got like a more modernized version of Batman's helmet, or I guess I should say Batman's suit, but this is definitely a helmet. On his head here, which looks really, really cool, like a robotic, modernized. Actually, the whole suit kind of looks like that. Even has the glowing bat symbol with like little streaks going down the suit as well. The eyes are also glowing blue. This would have been a really cool glow-in-the-dark pop. I'm surprised they didn't at least do like an Amazon exclusive, which is what they typically tend to do with the glow-in-the-dark ones. But this one is really, really cool. I love the design on it. It is a fairly simple look, but they really captured it here. And yes, again, I did the research. I know what Batwing looks like. I guess if I didn't, then that would be kind of funny if I just reviewed a character that I had no prior knowledge of. I'm sure it's happened before. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But there's Batwing. This one's really, really cool. And again, really cool that we're getting some of those, I guess, lesser known characters from the Batman universe. Because I think it's always great when we get characters like that. This next one, another one that I actually did know about prior, but I feel like not a lot of people may have known this one. They're probably more familiar with the original rather than this one. And of course, talking about Batgirl, Cassandra Cain. So this one, like I said, people probably more familiarized with the Barbara Gordon Batgirl. She's I guess the OG, the one that people probably think of when they think Batgirl. But Cassandra Cain's really, really cool too. And I believe this was her very first Funko figure, but they've also since released a comic cover featuring this Batgirl as well. So she's getting a little bit of merchandise this year, so I think that's really cool. So this is Pop Heroes number 501. There's the side of the box, back of the box, everything's the same. None of these boxes are fairly different. Um, So one of the biggest differences between this Batgirl and the Barbara Gordon Batgirl is that the Cassandra Cain Batgirl wears a mask that completely covers her face. You know, the Batgirl, the original Batgirl mask, you could see like the eyes and the mouth, just like Batman typically. But the Cassandra Cain Batgirl has a mask that just covers the entire face and head and everything. So it's more ominous and mysterious, I suppose, that way. But they really did good. They even got the little stitching on there for the mask. The rest of the suit is also really cool. Got the Bat logo again on her chest there, and also the utility belt as well. So again, not too crazy with the details, but you don't really have to be when it comes to the Batman suits. They're fairly self-explanatory. I also love the pose that they have her in. Of course, she does have a base to keep it from, you know, to let it be able to stand. But this one is really, really cool. I love the details on this one. Like I said, I've always thought the Cassandra Cain Batgirl was underrated, so really, really glad to finally have a Funko Pop of her. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for that one, but again, really cool figure. Now this next one, also one I was unfamiliar with when I first got these pops, or when I first planned on getting them, I guess I should say. But again, did my research, and I do know a little bit more about this character. This is Clownhunter, and yes, he is a good guy. For a second, I thought that maybe he was actually on Joker's side, just because I heard Clown in the name, and for some reason I thought that he would be like one of Joker's people. He is not. He's the exact opposite. A Clownhunter actually, his parents were killed by the Joker, thus he goes out for revenge, and is very clearly on everyone else's, you know, Batgirl, Batwing side. And he is, of course, a vigilante, just like everybody else. And his design is really cool. It's a really neat looking figure. And we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. But there is the box right there. And as far as I'm aware, Clownhunter also doesn't really have any powers. But then again, not many members of the Bat family do. They all kind of just use like their gadgets and their, you know, fighting abilities and stuff like that. It's the same thing with Batman, you know. But here is Clownhunter. So this one has a lot of detail, a little bit more than the other two that we reviewed. First off, love the red mohawk looking thing right there. That is really, really cool. The helmet itself, pretty well detailed. He does have little goggles on that are actually see-through. So that's pretty cool, little translucent ones there. He does have this baseball bat. He does carry that around with him. And then he also has the rest of the suit's really interesting because he has what appears to be a suit and tie on right here. And then down here he has like sneakers and knee pads. It's a very interesting costume. It's not, you know, not something that you would typically see from a member of the Bat family. If you could even consider Clownhunter a member of the Bat family, it seems more like he's just out for revenge against the Joker, and he just so happens to work with, you know, with them in that sense. Although his bat does have a little Batman bat wings on it, so you know, I think that's a really cool detail. But yeah, here's Clownhunter. Again, this is a character I knew absolutely nothing about, but because of this wave, I learned quite a bit, actually, about some of these characters. And I think that's, again, one of the good things about doing Opens a Box is that it introduces me to some of these things that I didn't know before. And I wouldn't consider myself a comic buff or anything like that, but I did figure that I had a pretty decent amount of knowledge, but I'm still surprised at the amount of characters that I don't know on a daily basis. Especially more recently in the more modern world. But here's another one that I do know because she's been around for a little while. This is, of course, Spoiler. Real name is Stephanie Brown, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that one. I do remember her because she was kind of back in the day. I think she dated one of the Robins. I want to say it was the Tim Drake Robin. I could totally be wrong about that. So yeah, she's been around for a little while. This is Pop Heroes number 505. And again, I believe this is the first Spoiler Pop they've ever made. Again, kind of fuzzy on that. I think it is, but if it's not, sorry. You know, like I said, I don't know it all. I wish I did, but I do think this one Looks really, really cool, though. Alright, so here is spoiler, and yeah, like I said, this one looks really, really good. So spoiler, a little bit of a different mask situation going on here compared to the other ones. She has a hood on, and then there's this little mask that pulls up over her nose and mouth. I guess it partially conceals the identity, so the effort is there, although her blonde hair is still very clearly sticking out there. The rest of the outfit, instead of going with the black and yellow typically associated with the Batman characters, she goes with a purple and whatever that other color is on this outfit instead, which is still pretty cool. And she does also have a bat symbol right there as well, because she was a member of the Bat family at one point. So this one looks really, really cool. Also, Stephanie Brown was also Batgirl at some point. I don't remember if she was before or after Cassandra Cain, but yes, she was Batgirl at one point. We have not gotten a figure of that version of Batgirl yet, but it could always happen down the line. I'm not saying that because I know anything. I genuinely don't know, but it could happen down the line. But there it is. This is spoiler. Really, really cool. Really, really cool pop. Also realized I just missed the opportunity to say something like spoiler alert, and then I could have, yeah, I really missed the opportunity on that one. Wow. So, you know, you think of these jokes after it already happens. It's like, yep, there's no opportunity to ever do that ever again, unless we have another pop named spoiler. All right, we still have two more, so bear with me. We're making our way through here. This one I knew a little bit about, not nearly as much as Spoiler or Batgirl, but I knew more about this one probably than Batwing and Clownhunter. So this is the Signal, Duke Thomas. I knew who Duke Thomas was. I did not know that he had his own like superhero alter ego thing called the Signal. But I think it's really cool because when I hear that, I think the Bat Signal, right? So he's kind of basing his alter ego on that. So there is the box there. And there were no exclusives in this wave. Like I said, I do think they could have had something, but there were no exclusives. I guess that makes my life a little bit easier because exclusives tend to be a little bit harder to get a hold of. But here is the Signal, and as you can see, pretty much right off the bat, you can tell that the colors on Duke Thomas's suit here are inverted from Batman's. Typically, Batman's is all black with a little bit of yellow, whereas this one is mostly yellow with a little bit of black, which is really cool. Also, you can see on his helmet here, the Bat logo is kind of in the helmet, looking like the Bat Signal, because there's the yellow and then the Bat logo. He has his own Bat logo looking thing on his chest there as well. Not quite the same as the other ones, but it's still pretty cool looking. He's also got some weapons in his hands here. And overall, this is another really sick figure. I really like this one. I mean, seriously, these are some really fun-looking pops. And I think this one is no exception to that. I thought Duke Thomas, I thought he had a different character. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it wasn't this one. But I guess this is his more modern appearance in the comics. He also does not stand very well. Did he have a base? No, I don't think he did. Oh yeah, he did. I was looking at the wrong one. He did. I'm dropping everything. All right, we'll worry about that later. All right, guys, that brings us to our final figure, and as you've seen on the back of all 5 boxes that I've shown you so far, it is of course the Joker. Of course, dressed up as Batman. Now, this isn't the first time Funko has made a pop of Joker dressed up as Batman. In fact, they've actually done it quite a few times. I think the first time they did it was when they did a whole line of Batman villains dressed up as Batman called the Imposters. So that was the first time that ever happened. I definitely thought back to that when this pop was first shown off. I'm like, yeah, I remember when they did that. And that's what this basically reminded me of. But this is the Joker War Joker, Pop Heroes number 504. And again, it's called that because that was what the whole comic book was about. It's about the Joker War, you know, that kind of thing. And the Joker, obviously, dresses up as Batman, which he's done actually quite a few times in the comics. It's not something new, but this one, pretty cool. So here is the Joker War Joker, and like I said, this one is really cool. Rather than going with the black and yellow, the Joker's mask is more of like a blue color with the yellow eyes, and of course under the mask you have that trademark Joker smile, so you definitely know that it's him under there. His cape's also purple, kind of like Spoilers. The rest of the suit is black and blue. The Bat logo has a Joker smile drawn onto it, and it has a bunch of ha-ha-ha's written all over. And he kind of has a utility belt. It has like a little heart on it or something. I'm not entirely sure. And then in his hand, he's holding a Joker boomerang. Or boomerang, batarang is what I meant to say there. So yeah, this one is sick. I really, really like this one. I didn't get any of those in Popsters, so for me, this is actually the first time I've had one of these. But yeah, this one, really, really cool. All right, now let's go ahead and do our ratings for the Batman Warzone Pops here today. I mean, they're all really, really cool. I don't even know where to start. I do think, personally, there are a couple that really stood out to me. I think Spoiler really stood out to me. I really like the Signal, and I really like Batgirl, and of course the Joker Pops. Those ones are all really, really cool. Batwing and Clownhunter, though, are also really cool. So it's hard for me to say because, like, they're all really well detailed and they're all accurate from what I was able to see. So I guess I'm just gonna give them all a 9 out of 10. I mean, I really don't know. There's no real flaws on any of these pops. I think they're all really well done. So yeah, 9 out of 10. I guess we'll just leave it at that because I'm having a hard time even trying to think of a rating. Let alone trying to think of a rating for 6 different pops, you know. That can be pretty difficult to do sometimes. But we'll go through them one more time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below which of these is your favorite. We, of course, had Batwing. We had Batgirl, the Cassandra Cain version. We had Clownhunter. We had Spoiler. We had the Signal. And we had the Joker War Joker. So, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on which of these pops were your favorite. When we come back next week, we are going to be catching them all once again because we're going to have yet another wave of Pokemon Funko Pops. Not the most recent one because we are once again behind, but that's a good thing. I'd rather be behind than have to wait a while for Pokemon Pops again like we had to last year. So we're going to have another wave of Pokemon coming your way next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.